I got to end a closing reflection on this picture, Vice, which is by Adam McKay, the same guy who made the Wall Street movie, blaming Wall Street for the crash and not really mentioning Barney Frank and Chris Dodd or any of the leftist thing. Let's just take a look. I mean, I talk sometimes about watching Hallmark movies on occasion because they inform me about the daydreams of women. They don't inform me about the reality of women's lives. They're not supposed to. They're the daydreams that some kind of women have. And you watch them and you kind of learn something about a person that you're not. Vice is a Hallmark movie for hate-filled, angry leftists. McKay is identified as a socialist. He has said he's a socialist. And this movie, they hate you. When you watch this movie and you consider that this is nominated for an Oscar, all I could think was, screw you. Screw you, because this movie depicts ordinary Americans. They're all bigots. It depicts... its depiction of Vice President Dick Cheney is absurd. He has no human motivations whatsoever. They show him at one point as a guy willing to give up a presidential run to protect his gay daughter from the spotlight, but at the same time, he's also willing to just blow Iraq to pieces for profit, just for oil money. That's the only reason. They never, at no point do they ever show him caring about what he's doing or having a system of beliefs, which is ridiculous. They have a scene where he says to Don Rumsfeld, what do we believe? And Rumsfeld laughs in his face. They have no beliefs. Here's a little clip from the trailer of him getting accepting the vice presidential nomination from an absolutely idiotic George W. Bush. And basically the premise of the movie is that Cheney ran the Bush presidency.
What do you say? I want you to be my VP. I want you. You're my vice.
Well, George, I'm the CEO of a large company. And I have been Secretary of Defense. And I have been White House Chief of Staff. The Vice Presidency is a mostly symbolic job. However, if we came to a different understanding, I can handle the more mundane jobs, overseeing bureaucracy, military, energy, and foreign policy.
Yeah, right. I like that.
Yeah, so he's going to just take over the entire presidency. George W. Bush is just this passive idiot wandering around with Dick Cheney telling him what to do. It truly is nonsense. The depictions of ordinary Americans are ridiculous. The last scene in the movie, and this is not a giveaway, it's got a lot of comedy involved in it. The last scene in the movie is a kind of a focus group conversation, and the right-wing Fox News. Oh, that's the other thing. Fox News. We just heard that 85% of the press is Democrat, but Fox News is the villain moving America ever further to the right. Since when has America been moving ever further to the right? It's an absurdity. The only thing that's been moving to the right is free speech. We actually have more free speech, and the left has been doing everything it can to demonize that. It's an amazing, amazing film. Consider this. If you don't consider that the narrative is what this fight is all about, if you don't consider the narrative is actually the battleground we're on, consider this. The Path to 9/11, Cyrus Nowasta's miniseries about how 9/11 happened, which absolutely distributed blame fairly between George W. Bush and Bill Clinton. But it did show that Bill Clinton was so caught up in the sex scandal with Monica Lewinsky that he did not kill Osama bin Laden several times when he had the chance. That movie has not been released on DVD. ABC Disney will not release that movie on DVD to protect Bill, to protect Hillary, but mostly to protect the narrative. There's a depiction in this movie, Vice, of Jimmy Carter, what a wonderful president he was. He was one of the worst presidents ever. He was a mean little man. He continues to be a mean little man. And his presidency was awful. And then Reagan, of course, is the villain. Listen, they have the right to their opinion. All I'm saying is they spent $60 million on this film. They nominated this film for an Oscar. Do you think a true story about Reagan, about what a great president he was, a true story about Pope John Paul II, you think those would be nominated for an Oscar? We already know American Sniper, the best film of the last 20 years, was nominated, but there was no way it was going to win ever. I mean, and only Clint Eastwood could have made it. It's just, this is what's important to them, and they're right, because this is what happens. The socialists never have to win a majority to win the day. They never have to win a majority if they win the narrative. All right.